Alright, you guys, so last night I put a simple message out on my Facebook buy sell trade group that I created about 5 years ago, and I asked if anybody wanted to learn how I became an eBay millionaire. I'm willing to teach you. I'm not going to charge you anything for the information that we're willing to give you here on YouTube and on Instagram. You can learn a ton of information about how to do eBay. I joined eBay back in the 90s. Everybody wants proof. I have to say this first, though. I'm really saddened at the state of the world, I guess. I put an offer out there, and I've just been literally beat up here on my own group that I created for you guys to be able to buy, sell, and trade on. And I've spent a good portion of the last 4 years taking time looking at the members and letting members in and trying to be a good admin and kind of being quiet and letting you guys do your thing on there. And now I've come out and said, hey, I'm willing to give you guys some information that could actually change your life. And what I did wasn't all that hard, and I think any of you out there can do it. And instead of having a whole bunch of people go, wow, that's really great, I'd love some of the information that you've got, I got beat up by a whole bunch of people just with negative attitudes, really. But I can tell you one thing, I didn't become a millionaire on eBay by having a negative attitude, so let's start there. I'm standing here in my smoke shop on Madeira Beach. My little dog hangs out here with me all day. Anyway, I just want to kind of get this series started. I told you I would tell you my story about how I became an eBay millionaire. I told you I would offer my help where I can help you. There's no pyramid or multi-level. I don't even know where that came from. Somebody out there jumped on the post and said, oh, it must be a pyramid. Well, no, it's not. I built a business. I have 3 generations of antique knowledge and experience. My father was an auctioneer. I grew up in an auction house, going to auction houses up in New Jersey. I grew up in those auction houses. I learned a lot about antiques. His father, my father's father, was also an antique dealer. In fact, his store is still open. I believe my cousin Charlie is running that now. It's Hoke Powell's, H-O-K-E. That was my father's name, Hoke Powell Interiors, and that's in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. Anyway, maybe some of you find it hard to believe that I became an eBay millionaire. I'm not all that polished and all that kind of stuff, but you know what? That's the good part. It means you can do it too. So anyway, I'm going to get into this story. If you guys would like to follow me on YouTube, I'll put a link in the comments here below or on the page. There's a bunch of videos on my YouTube that relate to, well, different things, but if you're interested in the eBay part, just take that information, let it help you in any way that it can. We've got another eBay channel that my son is putting up, or a YouTube channel about eBay that my son's putting up. He's more polished, he's more of a videographer, but I will tell you we're also involved in the hemp industry, and obviously I'm standing in my smoke shop right now, and this is of great interest to me, and in that area we're also going to be out there trying to help people. So you know what, this is a genuine offer. I don't want any of you guys' money. I have everything I need in life. I run this business. I do a lot for charity and for people and things like that. You know what, there are still good people in the world, so take that for what it's worth. I just have a really old notebook here that I've been carrying around for years and years and years. It's just an old sticker. My business was Simple Pleasures Antiques. There you go. And I was up in the mountains of North Carolina, but I actually started down here. I had an antique mall down on 4th Street back in the early 90s. I used to hang glide, so I drove a big truck from North Carolina to New Jersey, pulling a big-ass trailer for every 2 weeks for several years. This was just a notebook that I put together for myself to keep, just to remind me one day about my business. And oh, it's a shame it looks like I cut out part of that. This was an advertisement in a magazine up there at the 2001 Mineral and Gem Festival. This was my fiance who passed away of a heart attack when I was 28. That's my dad in the background. He was the auctioneer and antique dealer. That's me. And that's Gary. He was a big influence on my life, and when he died, I went to the mountains of North Carolina to kind of get away just from life in the world. And, oh, here's that whole ad in black and white. And that shows my property. Can you see my property there? You see that? That was a little house that was built in 1905. And we remodeled that. My son said it was a post office. And then this was the log cabin that we built. We pulled the trees right out of the mountains for that. And then this was an old tobacco barn that we remodeled into a shipping department. I specialized in baby grand pianos for a while. That was a lot of fun. And I'll teach you how to move big items across the country. It's really not all that hard. You know, I kind of had to figure out how to do this. You know, I was a single mom, and obviously I had lost my husband before that, not to death, but in a divorce. And let's see, financial statements. I have all this stuff here. You guys who want proof, come down to the smoke shop. I'm located at 14995 Gulf Boulevard. I had my business evaluated. I'll just show you the bottom line there. You go. That was at the height, or right about the height of the business. Company policies, eBay. Anyway, I'm located at 14995 Gulf Boulevard. If any of you guys need proof other than the videos that are going to be put out before you even look at the information I'm willing to give you. I specialized in furniture. My dad taught me a lot about furniture, especially 1940s mahogany. Reproduction mahogany was one of our best-selling lines. Pianos, again. These are just sample ads that I printed out. I wanted to have this. You know, I knew that I wouldn't be doing this forever, and I'm real big on paperwork. So for those of you who want to see my paperwork, you know what? I have my tax returns going back to 1984, so that's not a problem. Anyway, I actually sold that property that I just showed you on eBay years later. When I moved back to Florida, I was building homes on the back of the property. I had 7 homes that we were going to build, and here's the logs. There we go. Actually, I think this was, these were printouts, I think, from when I was selling the property on eBay. Yeah, it was. Anyway, Simple Pleasures Antiques isn't an entity on eBay anymore. After I moved back to Florida, I got into flipping houses and things, and I didn't do eBay a whole lot for a while, but it's always kind of been a part of my life, either, you know, in the forefront or in the background. I'm just looking to see anything in here that might interest you guys. But like I said, you're going to see all of this on the videos here sooner or later. Cash paid for your antiques. I used to keep that ad in the newspaper here and there, and actually I lived in Miami before I moved to the mountains. And oh, what is this? That's another business drawing. But anyway, I have a lot that I can offer you guys. Excuse me. I'm just a real person that really cares about people, probably too much for my own good sometimes. And so if y'all want to beat me up out there for being a good Samaritan and offering knowledge that could actually help you, you know, beat me up, go ahead. But the knowledge is here if you'd like it. And, you know, we're going to be putting out videos and things like that that will help you. Oh, here's a printout of it. This was my website. This is funny. Do you know what a website used to cost? I had a shopping mall on here and everything. I still have the copy of the check that I wrote for this website to be built. It was $10,000. Insanity, right? But that was in 1998. But this is the kind of stuff we were selling. And so you see, it wasn't really that hard to do $1 million a year. And the thing is, it just grew so fast, I almost couldn't even stop it. And, you know, it grew so fast I could barely keep up with the paperwork, but I just rolled with it and we just did it. And over the years, I've learned so many different ways. Here you go. I even have my old history on there. I began my business as a hobby in 1991. I haven't read this in years. I had been exposed to the antique business my entire life as I grew up with my father being an auctioneer and my grandfather having had an antique shop for over 40 years before that.